Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to provide an update regarding what's happening right now in the Sacramento housing market. As you guys all know, I'm a realtor here in the greater Sacramento area. I want to share what's happening right now based on data, but also provide some boots on the ground perspective as well. Let's first talk about what's happening right now regarding new home construction sales, and then we'll talk about what's happening regarding the resale market of existing houses, not new home construction. This report for new home sales was reported on March 13th, just a few days ago. This is from the North State Building Industry Association. Check this out. This is pretty wild. Sacramento area, they're talking about the greater Sacramento area, which includes Sacramento, Folsom, Roseville, Rockland, and El Dorado Hills, for example. So Sacramento area new home sales continued at a fast pace in February as area home builders recorded the region's highest February sales since 2005. So in looking at home sales each and every February, this February of 2024, the highest sales total since 2005. They reported that there was 762 new houses that sold this February. Again, the best February sales volume since 2005. And back then there was 908 houses that sold when we had the height of our housing boom right before the Great Recession. And the average sale total for the month of February is at 504. Again, this month at 762. So much higher compared to previous years, and of course, compared to the average as well. In fact, February sales increased by 31% compared to January, which I would imagine is normal to see a gain in home sales in February compared to January, because of course, in December and January, that tends to be our trough each and every year regarding home sales. But when looking at sales from 1 year ago, February of 2023, sales increased by 37%. That is crazy. During the first 2 months of the year, January to February this year, there was around 1,300 new houses that sold. And that's a 28% increase compared to the same time frame of 2023. The BIA's political director and senior policy advisor, Chris Norum, he stated one of the reasons why we're seeing an increase of new home construction sales is because of relatively few existing houses on the market. I'll provide an update regarding that later in the video, but that is true. But I will say that these numbers are a little bit hard to compare to year over year or to previous years or previous months. And that's because what's not announced in this report here is how many builders are offering incentives to home buyers in order to drive home sales. Again, I'm a realtor here in the Sacramento area, and I've been doing neighborhood tours and looking at new home construction developments in the greater area, Galt, Elk Grove, Rancho Cordova, Rockland, Roseville, Folsom, etc. Over the past several months. And based on my own experience, virtually every single home builder was offering a closing cost credit to home buyers. Normally it's about $10,000. So in other words, if your closing costs are $30,000 to buy a house, then that just decreases by $10,000. So your out-of-pocket expenses decreases by that credit the builder is willing to provide. On top of that, other incentives I'm seeing is free builder upgrades, or they're offering a 30-year fixed mortgage at a rate far below current rates. Current rates today are around 7%. So because of all these incentives that home builders are offering home buyers, that's one of the reasons why home sales have been increasing. I'm not saying it's just the only reason, but that is certainly contributing to the rise of sales of new home construction in the area. And so much, in fact, that over the past 2 years here, there's only 1 month in which home sales or new home sales were higher than this February. This February is right here, around 762 houses that sold, higher than any other month in 2023 and also 2022, with the exception of March of 2022, when we had over 800 sales. They also provided this chart right here. This is the amount of February home sales each and every year going back to 2014. What really caught my attention is two main things here. 2021 and 2022, our housing market was absolutely on fire virtually everywhere across the United States, but especially in Sacramento as well. So it's pretty remarkable to see that we had more home sales or new home sales this February, especially compared to February of 2022, when our housing market was absolutely on fire. On top of that, looking at 2019, February 2019, there was 446 new home sales. So therefore, the amount of sales this February is an increase of 71% compared to February 2019, which is obviously pre-pandemic levels. One of the reasons, of course, why people are moving to Sacramento area from more expensive areas like the San Francisco Bay Area, Los Angeles, etc., is because of this right here. Because you can buy a brand new house in the range of $400,000 to about $700,000. A lot of options. In fact, the most home sales this February was in the range of $550,000 to $600,000. My team and I helped three people buy new houses over the past several months. There's two of our home buyers who bought houses that closed over the past 2 months, and they got a rate well below current market rates. I think they're locked in a rate around 5.5 to 6%. Again, average rates right now around 7%. On top of that, I represented a home buyer who placed a deposit down on a dirt lot in which they're going to build that house a couple weeks ago. And the home builder offered them a $10,000 closing cost credit. All reasons why we're seeing an increase in new home sales, but not the only factor regarding that. Okay, let's change gears slightly here and talk about what's happening right now in the resale market for existing houses, excluding any figures regarding new home construction. Let's first talk about AltosResearch.com's data for the median list price. This is the median asking price of newly listed existing houses. That was at $530,000 on average for the Sacramento metro area. 1 year ago this time, it was $525,000. So home prices or asking prices relatively flat year over year. However, asking prices at $530,000 is higher than 2022, of course, 2021, and 2020. In fact, when looking at asking prices in mid-March of 2019, we were at $370,000. This means asking prices in Sacramento over the past several years have increased a whopping 43%. Let's also have a look at the share of price drops in Sacramento according to AltosResearch.com. The share of price drops is at 31%. This is on par with a national average around 30% right now. So home price decreases, or the share of that, roughly on par with the nation. Also at 31%, this is a little bit lower compared to last year at 33%, but much higher compared to 2022, 21, and 2020. On top of that, it's also higher compared to 2019 when the share was around 30.5%. Let's also discuss stats from Redfin's data center regarding new listings, pending home sales, home prices, and much, much more. So new listings in the Sacramento metro area were up by 20.4%. This is the amount of houses for sale in the Sacramento metro area, up by nearly 21%, or around 20.4%. This is higher from last year right there. And also, it's still lower, though, compared to 2021 and 2022, though. This is a very common scenario we're seeing on a national level as well. Inventory up year over year, but still much lower compared to the past several years. In regards to housing inventory in the Sacramento area, we're down by 4.9%. This is actually a little bit different compared to the national average because right now we're seeing a gain of around 20% in the amount of houses for sale, but in Sacramento, we're down by 4.9%. Pending sales, a measure of contracts being signed between buyers and sellers in Sacramento, are also down as well, down by 7% year over year. Also, this is at least a 3-year low because this is lower than 2022 and 2021 as well. This decrease of pending sales could be due to the fact that we have a lack of existing houses for sale, but also due to the fact that we have rates that have increased to around 7% right now, which is sidelining some homebuyers forcibly. In other words, they're no longer qualified to buy the house they want to buy, or they're just waiting for home prices or rates to decrease. I also want to give you guys an update regarding closed home sales, because of course, pending home sales is a leading indication of our housing market approximately 1 to 2 months from now. So let's have a look at actual closed home sales. So closed home sales rose by 3.5% from 2023, but again, lower compared to 2022 and 2021. You guys are probably curious regarding what is happening right now regarding home prices, because the median sold price is at $570,000. That's a gain of 6% from 1 year ago. By the way, 1 year ago this time, the median sold price was down 8%. Now it's up by 6%. So basically what we're seeing right now is a seasonal uptick in home prices, which is normal, especially during the spring home buying season. One more thing I do want to point out regarding home prices though, is that $570,000, again, it's higher from last year, but it's lower than this time in 2022, when home prices were at $585,000. Just for context, the all-time record high was set back in April when home prices were at $613,000. Lastly, let's have a look at the average sale price to final list price ratio over the past 4 weeks for houses that did close escrow. That ratio was 100%, which means on average, houses sold for the seller's final list price. This is higher from last year this time when the ratio was 98.8%, meaning houses selling for 1.2 percentage points less. But this is lower compared to 2021, and especially compared to 2022. Back then, houses on average were selling for about 4% over the seller's list price. Now they're selling for about the asking price on average. So that's today's video. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Like and subscribe. Also, if you guys want a real estate agent referral anywhere in the United States, check out my website, realestateteamfinder.com. Or if you're looking to buy a house in the greater Sacramento area, my team and I would love to help. You can email me at jason@meetjasonwalter.com, and all my information is in the video description below here. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.